Hello guys, this is Infinite Flight here, also known as Zooms, and today we're going to be doing a little tutorial, excuse me, on this little EasyJet Airbus A319. Yeah, so when you spawn in, you'll get chucked into the cockpit like this. Everything's preloaded up. We're going to be doing a cold and dark tutorial, so I'm going to, well, since the engines are running, I'm going to budge forward. Don't know what happens here. I'm just going to budge forward a little bit. That'll do. Right. I'll set the parking brake, but that'll go off in a second. We've got the right FMCD, or the MCU, as it's probably called in the Airbus. Then we'll click the cold and dark state. Everything will load up. You don't have to wait 20 seconds like the damn PMDD. We'll bring the jetway here. So first off, we're gonna go to the overhead panel. This is the wrong one. Now, my shortcuts are mucked up. The Airbus, well, in the Airbus it's mucked up, so I don't know why, but it is. Right, so we go to the overhead panel, like so. You'll see this says available. We'll click that once we turn these batteries on. So in the Airbus you have two batteries. So left click them both and they'll come on like so, and then you click the external power, and then you hear some bleeps and bloops. You can do an engine fire test, so you know what to hear if something does go fire, but for some reason you can't deploy these, so they're absolutely pointless. Now you'll come up to the top left with the ADIRS's, or ADRs, yeah. IRS is what they're called. You'll right click, or right click, and then switch it to nav and wait till that light goes on and extinguishes again. So once it says on that and light extinguishes, go to the next one. So they're all set. We'll turn the fuel pumps on. That's one. Left tank pumps, the outside center pumps, that should be pushed in. That's it, pushed out. It should be pushed in. This mode selector should be on auto, and the right tank pumps. And then you'll turn on the electric pumps. You will hear something. It's quite a nice sound, not gonna lie. We move down. Nothing should really need touching. That's the electric pumps. Nothing should need touching. These should just be on, even though they say there's a fault. You could turn off the engine bleeds, but I'm just going to keep them on. Anti-ice, depending on the temperature. If it's below 10 degrees, pop the anti-ice is on, and this is on auto anyway, so we can just pop that out like so. Not that it matters or anything. And if it's night time, you can flick this and turn on the dome light. Or if you want to make the thing look nice and pretty, you can use the overhead integrated lights. I think that's what it's called. And we'll go back to here. Come and turn on the displays. You need to turn these on manually. Like so, the brightness will just make them come on. Turn on the e-cams. That's all good, right. This has a built-in checklist thing, like the PMDD 777, except you've got voice. So if we pop this on, the cockpit preparation.
Okay, let's start with the cockpit preparation checklist.
Batteries?
Both on.
Electrical power?
And external power is on.
Navigation lights?
Set on.
Engine master?
Both off.
Engine mode selector?
Checked. Normal.
Landing gear lever?
Normal.
Checked.
Should be off.
Parking brake?
Landing gear.
Off.
Parking brake should be off.
Checked. Position.
Speed brake lever?
Checked. Retracted.
Thrust levers?
Idle.
Idle.
Transponder mode?
Checked. Standby.
Radio control panel?
Set on.
ECAM recall?
And basically all that is your standard recall button. Very much like the board.
Checked.
Anti-skid?
On.
Flight director?
On.
Emergency lights?
That's this one up here. You just
Set.
click that.
No smoking signs.
Set on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Probe window heat.
Auto.
Air condition.
Checked.
Ventilation panel.
Is checked.
That's all
Electric
this.
panel.
Checked.
Fuel pumps.
On.
Hydraulics.
Is checked.
Acubrake pressure.
Checked.
Ground proximity warning system.
On.
Electronic flight control system.
On.
Bed ears.
Checked.
Emergency equipment.
Is checked.
Checklist complete.
Sounds like a robot which says checklist complete. It says closed doors, but that's not gonna happen. Right, if you don't know what to click or it's not moving, just click this co-pilot button here and the co-pilot will do it for you. You'll never know what they've clicked unless you've seen it. But I like to turn that off and do everything myself, just so we know. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Airbus, to spell it right, fuel planner. This will load up. Select your aircraft type. We're an A319er. You just click random and we're at Gatwick, I think. And we'll pretend to go to Edinburgh. You should really do this beforehand. I forgot about it, so we'll just generate the load sheet now. Spam it a couple times just in case it doesn't work. We can open the doors. You know it said close them. You should really set up the aircraft first, then do that checklist. Assuming from listening to that. Open the cargo doors. Double check that, make sure you got external GPU power as ground power unit, not graphics processing unit. And then you'll click Init, Load Sheet, Initialize Load Sheet. Click that, load up, start the boarding, load the cargo, and load the fuel. You could click Load Instant, but that kinda minuses the realism. Here you'll notice it will say IR in a line. And then sometimes it will have a number. Oh, it's gone now. It will say 1-2 minutes or something, but since we've left it for so long, they've already done what they needed to do. You'll just click the edit on the first FMC and then click Align RS. Right, that'll be instant because I've left it on for so long, and we are at Gatwick, so we'll do this. Gatwick EGKK / EGP. We'll do that. We'll just click return here because we don't have a co-route. Flight number, we're in EasyJet? Yeah, we are. So we'll just pop a random flight number in here. EasyY426908. Oh. Right, that's a bit better. Cost index, you just put 25, that's what I usually use. What kind of flight level is 240? And that'll give you your exact temperature for the cruising altitude. Anything else I need to do? We'll tell you when boarding is done. It will probably stop flashing and go steady green. Just pop a default squawk code of 2000 in here and pop that to TA only. That's it really. I mean, there's nothing else you can do apart from test these and play with them. Ah, I always do that. Great. Hope that didn't affect. Usually it doesn't affect anything. Now, if you have a route discontinuity, just click the clear button. And then do that. Now, usually it comes up with a route, but apparently not. Right, departure. Well, to create a departure, usually is a departure arrival period in the Boeing. This, you just go to flight plan, click the airport you're departing from, and then click departure. And then select the runway. We'll just create. I don't know. EGPH, arrival. LS24. that's it. So, now what we can do is, that's not done yet. Click these until something needs filling in. That's how I do it. Don't know the aircraft well enough yet, so flaps, just select flaps and 1. And that'll give you your V2 speed plus 10 that you usually do, so that's 130 plus 10 which equals 40. Or 140 even. Climb. Cruise destination. Approach. Q and H. You don't really need to put that in, do you? No, you don't actually need to put that in, that was just random. Don't fill these in if you don't know what to put in there. So that's that. Everything should be done. If you're on VATSIM, you get your clearance now. Everything's all set up so you're clear to get your clearance. So that's fine, everything's loaded up now, I think. I'll just click instant just in case. And we'll shut the doors. Okay, sometimes you need to click it slightly longer than you should. Not very responsive at times, especially if you've got like 20 FPS. And we'll bring back the jetway, just Control J for those who don't know.
Captain, the cabin is secure, all passengers are aboard.
That's fine, that means
okay, let's do the before start checklist.
The checklist usually start automatically.
Windows and doors.
Closed and locked.
APU.
Oh crap.
Set on.
APU bleed.
What's that? We need to wait for the APU to start now because I forgot about it. Well, meanwhile, we can turn on the beacon lights and put the strobes to auto, which is a nice handy feature in the Airbus. You don't have any confusion. Now, I will be doing a tutorial on the 737, one that you can actually hear me in, and I'll be doing a 777. And maybe the A330 and the A340 if I can get it. So we're waiting for the APU to start here. There's actually a button. It shows you the APU. The reason why it looks like an engine meter like this is because it's actually a little engine. The battery
start
the battery to turn on the APU, and the APU starts the engines. So battery to engine to two massive ones. I have no idea what they just said. External power, that was it. So you'll disconnect the external power.
Disconnected and off.
Cabin signs.
Set the parking brake.
Set on.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
On.
Bearer reference.
Checked. 1018.
1018. Check. Beacon lights.
On.
Checklist complete.
Checklist complete. Okay, so now we can start the push. How this works is you've got the start push, which will you're clear to start your engines and push back at the same time. Start is just to start the engines at the gate or the stand, if you wish. Now we're gonna have a little estimate, and we're gonna push back here. Configure and start push back. Yep. I don't actually know which way the runway is. Okay, so straight ahead. So I think we'll turn right now. There's a little bit of confusion between the Aerosoft and the PNDG. Right in the Boeing would mean the nose goes right. This would mean you move right. Like so. Let me show you. So in the Airbus, I hope I'm right, is the aircraft goes right, but in the Boeing, the nose goes right. So the nose will end up left, and you'll push that way to the right in the Airbus. And then the Boeing, you'll put the nose right, so that'll be that way. So Boeing nose that way for right, Airbus right is actually, well, the nose will end up that way. I hope. I don't know how far taxiway is. try not to spam this. Try not to click the push button again, because it does muck up the checklists. So just click it once and don't click it ever again.
Flight deck to ground.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, ground. We have ATC clearance.
Well, if you're in VATSIM, you'd have ATC clearance. So as you can see now, right, this is an interesting feature about the Airbus, right? The propellers, the engine's N1, I should say, is not moving, right? I'm pretty sure it said release parking brake. Switch the engine mode selector to ignition
Start pushback.
Oh, maybe not. Never mind. Ignore me.
Start and push back. You can start both engines at your discretion, Captain.
Okay.
Starting engine 2.
So we'll start engine 2 and not do that. Now if you're doing the checklist, it's more time consuming than doing it all yourself. Of course, I'd suggest once you get used to the Airbus, do it off VATSIM and use the checklists, and then once you get used to it, I'd strongly suggest not to use the checklists on VATSIM just because of the mental ATC-ness. But if you feel like you can do it, then by all means use the checklists on VATSIM. It does help a lot though, if you can multitask.
Engine 2 stabilized.
Okay, we'll just do that. Right, okay. Engine 2 stabilized,
Starting
start
number 1.
engine 1. And for those who don't know, the engines, this is 1, this is 2. This is engine 2 is on the right, engine 2 is on the left. Now, due to procedures and, you know, just caution and safety, you always start engine 2 in any aircraft. Usually. That's all dependent on the airport procedures and what country you're in. I think. So engine 1 should be stabilized very, very soon.
Engine 1 stabilized.
And pushback is complete, Captain. Please set
Parking
your
brakes
parking
are
brakes.
set.
Okay then, Captain. Tow bar disconnected. Your nose steering pin is removed. All clear signal on the right. Have a good run, sir.
Alright. Alrighty. I'm pretty sure he's Irish. Pretty sure. Right. Now,
The after start checklist.
we have to start checklist.
Engine mode selector.
Set.
APU bleed.
Set off.
APU master. Ground spoilers.
Well,
Set.
Rudder trim.
Checked
Rudder.
0.
Pitch trim.
I just scrolled up till he says it's set.
Set.
Flight controls.
Now this, all that means is, well, if you watch this, you click flight controls here, you full lock left,
Full left.
full lock right,
Full right. Neutral.
full up,
Full up.
and then full down,
Full down.
neutral,
Neutral.
and
Rudder.
then rudder left,
Full left.
rudder right.
Full right. Neutral.
Right.
Check. Flaps.
Flaps 1,
Flaps 1.
Anti-ice.
Off.
off,
Ecam status.
Checked.
Ecam door page.
cam door. That's just to check the doors are all locked and stuff. Oh, I can't see it. Which one is it? Door.
Checked.
Hand signal.
Received.
Checklist complete.
Right, okay, all that meant, the ground spoilers, is if you're familiar with the Boeing, then you'll know that you have armed, on and off, right? In the Airbus, retract means off, ground spoilers means armed, and this full obviously means up. You keep them on retracted during flight. Now when you're coming to land, this is basically the armed position. Now when you land, when you touch down, I don't think you'll see these pop full, as far as I'm aware. Only done one successful flight in this. So initiate taxi checklist is once you've exceeded 10 knots or you've clicked number 1 on the keyboard, right? Just to stop us from getting any confusion is if it's night time, turn on the wing lights, the nose light, put that to taxi, which is right there, and That should be on auto, on if it's night time. Nav and logo should be on. Oops. So there should only really be one light illuminating right now, and that's the electric pumps. So now we can taxi safely. With my dodgy throttle joystick. Yeah, just do this. Oh, it's still dodgy, I'll just use the buttons. So, on the second ECAM display, or PFD display, that will show you ground speed, which proceeded to 10 knots. And you can, it will automatically start the checklist, but I'm just going to
And the
click
taxi checklist.
and that will initiate it. You see
No
we're at
slide.
9 knots, now 10.
Taxi.
Brake check.
Pedal
Brake check is
press.
just click
Checked.
pedal.
0.
Check. Auto brakes.
Off brake, you can always put that to
Max.
max.
Takeoff data.
Reviewed.
FCU.
Hold on, right, FCU is takeoff on mic? No, it's not. Yeah, I don't know what that is, so I'm just gonna click the co-pilot.
Set.
Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. TO config.
Checked. And no blue.
Checklist complete.
Yeah, takeoff config is just that little button there. You click that when she says so, or just click it before taxi, or during taxi, or before the checklist is being started. Before takeoff checklist, you click 1. I usually click it before, well, when I'm just about to enter the runway. Now, where the heck? 26 right, isn't it? Yeah, 26 right. So we're turning right here. Now, usually once you get up to speed, you can just idle the engines, and the aircraft will taxi. Perfectly fine. Now, I'm just going to check here which way I should be going. Well, it's not down that way, it's actually that one here. Pretty sure it's a decommissioned runway, but we've selected it for takeoff, so. And the only reason why we're getting bad FPS is because we're using the UK2000. Yeah, like scenery, and that's mental for the original F6. With the 4 GB RAM cap. I feel like I say that like every single video, but it's true. Now we'll click the and it'll come down. And we'll click 1.
Flight attendants. Seats for takeoff, please. Before takeoff checklist.
Brake temperature.
Checked.
Brake fans.
Off.
Engine mode selector.
Checked. Normal.
TCAS.
You'll set that to TARA, also known as Squawking Charlie. And for some reason this always breaks on me, so stand by. Gonna work now? No. Right, we'll just stop here.
TARA. Tilt above.
Exterior lights.
Set
Right,
on.
off.
Sliding tables.
Stowed.
TARA tilt
Stowed.
above, that's this.
Checklist
Yeah.
complete.
Put it above when you're Squawking Charlie, or TARA. Right, now we have to set takeoff thrust. I'll bring up the engine page. Just cause, right. How this works is you'll do this. Go to the little yellow thing there, that's climb. And then
Take
toga.
off. Man toga and SRS.
Check. Power set.
And that initiates the Aerosoft. It's very weird, you don't have to spool up the engine, I don't think.
100 knots.
Checked.
Beat 1.
Oh.
Rotate.
Rotate now.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Navigation.
Check.
So one of the things there you saw is when I pulled up at the yoke on this first PFD here, it showed you where that was aiming. It's like a little gun.
Gears up, lights off.
Now you're supposed to engage, well, you're cleared to engage autopilot after 1,000 feet AGL, which is just 1,000 feet. But I'm going to do some horrible manual flying right now. I wonder how the autopilot gets it so smooth, you know. Right. Engage the autopilot, which is AP1.
Autopilot is going on. Second autopilot is on. Autopilot is going on.
Push that in, that's basically LNAV or VNAV. This, you just set to cruising altitude because we have no ATC. You push it in, that's to stay with the plan on the FMC. Pulling it out is override, so that's your intervene button. Pretty much, and yeah, that's it.
And flap 0.
Speed check, flaps 0.
So as you see, we're still in Toga. I strongly suggest you keep watching this bit because the auto throttle is weird compared to the Boeing. I mean, if you get this as your first aircraft, which it should really be because apparently it's easier to fly than the Boeing. Yeah, so we're at Toga now. Which is takeoff thrust. It will soon tell you to come back to CL, which is climb. This locks, the throttle locks, it doesn't do it itself. You have to actually manually pull it back so it locks and it limits the thrust that it's allowed to use. So when you're in climb, which is climbing up to your cruising altitude and cruise, limits the thrust between here and there. That, I'm not sure what that does. Toga, that's basically full throttle. So the auto throttle is actually this white line here. Anything within that white line will be done by that aircraft. Now, lever climb it says on the first PFD, so you pull that back to climb.
Climb thrust.
And then
the after takeoff
the aircraft
checklist.
will come down.
Engine mode selector.
Checked. Normal.
Spoilers.
Disarmed.
Flaps.
Checked. Retracted.
Landing gear.
Gear up. Lights off.
Exterior lights.
Set off.
Packs.
Both on.
Anti-ice.
Off.
TCAS.
Checked.
Altimeter.
Which is this, is the crenage. They call it altimeter because that's... Oh, actually, you pull it out, right click it, and then your standard pressure.
Standard.
Checklist complete.
Yeah, altimeter or altimeter and barometer, or the QNH is all, well, it is the QNH. Standard, pressure, the barometer, altimeter, and QNH. That's all the same thing. You'd be most familiar with the QNH because that's what we use in the Europe. Yep. So now we have to climb to cruise level. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you get this first time. The next video will actually, I'm just about to record the 737 start tutorial from Cold and Dark, and then I'll do the PMD 777 Cold and Dark. So thank you guys so much for watching. Good luck, happy flying. Thanks, bye. Oh, make sure to subscribe too.